Welcome back to another week of Talking Technical, and nice talking to you. And thank you for all the nice requests. But what we do find is that there is quite a few members that would like to get to know the Aussie and the S&P 500, and we see a slow uptick in our members on the speculation group. Remember, this is a group that cannot hold more than a certain amount of members. Reason being because there's a lot of questions to be answered. And what we do there is, if we do send out a trading idea, the viewer or the member will immediately see if he understands what we say. And if he does not, he will ask a question, and then we can immediately help him on the right path. Because the idea of the speculation group is to share trading ideas on the S&P 500, the Aussie, and even nowadays on the Hang Seng, and then to assist the member so that he can make the right decisions and see what we do see. Well, the first request of today is, of course, Standard Bank. Now, the member or the viewer, sorry, the viewer asked about a short idea here. He says there's a gap that he wants to be seen to close, but I'm looking at something else. I've started to look at the weekly chart, and the reason being, Standard Bank is showing us a nice feature. Every time that Standard Bank is getting excited, what do we see? We see tweezers to the top, lower shadows that makes investors excited to get involved with the company. And on the other hand, if it gets nervous, it gives us tweezers to the top. And that I like a lot. We've seen that quite a few times. There, close to the top, tweezer, sold off, rallied, sold off with a nice tweezer. Look at that tweezer bottom, tweezer top. Look at those tweezers there at the bottom, tweezers at the top, tweezers at the top, tweezers at the low. And every time, just before a rally or a sell-off, you see these tweezers developing. So for me, it's quite simple. For the viewer that asked about it, I say I see a classic tweezer top on the weekly chart. That is, of course, negative. My view is that below 187, that is the low of that candle, we can see beautiful selling to take place for a short seller. Remember, a long buyer will rather say, but I want to see some nice strong buyers. But a tweezer top is usually a warning formation. For me, it will only get wiped off the table above 197.67. But below this level of 187, where's our targets? Our targets is 185.62, 183.59, 178.13, and my 40-week moving average sits at 174.07. Let's see if we can maybe see that gap that he's talking about. Oh, yes, there's the gap. Yes, Meneer, I think that we can easily close that gap. That gap is between 187 on the dot, and it will close at 184.12. So for me, quite simple. Yes, I think you can see that gap to close, especially if this tweezer top coming into play. And keep in mind, it can maybe even go a little bit lower and go to that 40-week moving average. Let's have a look at Jubilee. Now, Jubilee is a share that I know that disappoints a lot of people. I've got a viewer that phoned me the other day and he said, Frans, but I'm so despondent with the share. I bought it and I thought that it's going to be a wonderful investment, and it turned out to just be a slow grinder to the bottom. But I then said to him, remember, shares got their own ideas, and sometimes we think different, but the share shows us something else. So what do we see here is that we see this slow but surely grinding lower descending channel. Now, unfortunately, a descending channel, while we're in these bands, it is negative. So the only thing I can say to the viewer, you cannot do anything but wait. And the big thing here is it can maybe go all the way down to that lower end of this channel. That's at R1.25. Can you believe it? And for me, the first sign of strength in actual fact will be this 40-week moving average. And why do I say that? That 40-week moving average is showing every time that it's a proper resistance. There's the resistance. It just bounced above that. It came back. Look at all the times here. The moment the 40-week moving average comes into play, the share gets nervous. And remember, this is a weekly chart. So for me, For the long term, for me, must get above that 40-week moving average. That's 2 rand and 4 cents, and even eventually get above that resistance line 221. So for the moment, I think the best you can do for Jubilee is to wait. But of course, we always have traders on the show, and let's have a look. That descending channel is still 100% intact. And for me, there you are. First sign of strength will only be above 174. Unfortunately, this share is disappointing, and we hope that it can turn around. But don't you worry, there's many other shares also in the commodity sector that is really struggling. Well, let's have a look at this share. I've never heard about it. And the viewer asked about E-Hang Holdings, and it's listed on the New York Stock Exchange in the NASDAQ. So for me, I looked at the weekly chart, and the first thing I saw was this beautiful rounding bottom. So maybe the viewers got something in here. And what I like about the company is, look at it, it starts to consolidate above the 40-week moving average. And this 40-week moving average is slowly but surely turning to the upside. For me, that, of course, is a bullish sign. So for me, I will say, let's have a look. First sign of the next higher high will be above that level. Maybe this viewer is holding the share already for a while and he just needs a little bit of confirmation. So let's have a look here. For me, that tweezer top makes me a little bit nervous. But if the share can get above $23.24, we can maybe see the next higher high. And why I like that is, look at it. There's the low. There's a higher low. There's a higher low. Maybe another higher low. And there we'll see a higher high. So yes, I will increase my position above that level. And that level is 23.24. I will use a stop loss of 21.18. Sorry, stop loss of 16.50 just to protect my capital. And boy, oh boy, if this can turn into a higher high, we've got plenty targets. Look at it. We've got a target of 25.69. 27.52 and even 29.25. I must be honest with you, I like this chart. I don't know the company at all. I don't even know what they do. But that is the beauty of technical analysis. Sometimes you can have a look at the picture and you can immediately see what the informed capital is thinking about. Because that's what technical analysis is all about, is to say and to think what the informed capital is thinking about your idea. Well, let's close off the show, and we hope that we've got enough time to look at Impala. Now, I mean, look at this share. I mean, if you look at this share, it just shows you that the company has been hammered to pieces. In the past, I looked at this falling wedge. A falling wedge is usually a positive formation, but dear, oh dear, and remember, this is a weekly chart. Let's just have a look here. If you look at this chart, and you do that extension, it just shows you it is exactly like Jubilee, almost in a descending channel. Now we know that the descending channel eventually turns out to be a positive formation. But unfortunately, if I look at this, no reversal candle. Remember, this is a weekly chart. We're way below the 40-week moving average. That sits at 167 rand 53 cents. We're trading at levels of around 93 rand. I know there's even a gap at 89 rand, and somebody told me that there's even a possible double bottom at 75. So for me, it's quite simple. At the moment, no reversal candles. The momentum is clearly to the downside. Everything is against the company. Even the rand is maybe a little bit strong. The platinum price is under pressure. They're worried about load shedding because they say they cannot do their full production. And what does it tell you? Wait for a reversal candle before you get involved. If you are a real long-term investor and you believe in the company and you like the company, then maybe nibble a bit and just sit on the sidelines. And if you've got them, if you don't take your stop loss, because usually a real long-term investor just buy and put it in the drawer for a while. But for me, it's quite simple. The first sign of strength is above that little level, and that is the high there, right at the bottom end, and the high there is 96.10. So first sign of strength will be above 96.10, otherwise below stop loss 91.90. So the momentum is still down, but I can bet you $1, if you see a waterfall formation like this in a descending channel, when you see a turnaround here, it can surprise you with a beautiful V reversal to the upside. But I mean, that's maybe in time to come. At the moment, momentum down and it's negative. Thank you for watching this show. Visit our website www.fransdeklerk.com for more info. And as always, hopefully, we'll chat again.